by the aggressive defense of John Sharp, and did a terrific job of eluding a foul or whatever to send Charles Smith in for an easy one.
Larry Brown calling for time.
You're watching NBC, the premier sports television network.
He's a little taller than that. I think the basketball was bigger than he was. His shoes just don't look for real. Mercy just moves real fast. Mercy like a little bee buzzing. Where'd you get that from? I guess he got it from his mama. They would laugh and say, what is this little boy doing on the court? And I just told him to go for it. I think he made me go for 3 shots.
Now, when you watch your favorite action-adventure show, you won't have to sit so close to the screen. Because there's more leg room in the front of a Chevy S-Series than in most full-size trucks. Chevy trucks, like a rock.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here. This is dull. Doesn't have to be.
And now the starting lineup. That groom from Texas, Billy Clyde Humphrey. And at bride, a 5'6" debutante from Alabama, Nell Peterson. The Humphrey wedding brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. The vows are up.
I do?
I do.
And they're good. Whoa, Nelly!
That was beautiful, man.
After 5 years of the toughest cases, 5 years of the toughest suspects.
Give me a name, I'll make an arrest.
The end of an era. Detective Logan's last case.
What do you think will happen to him?
The one-season finale you never expected. NBC's Law & Order, all new Wednesday.
Well, there's been a lot of talk that Reggie Miller was going to look to get 20-plus shots today. Reggie kind of softened on that, saying not necessarily shots, but make things happen. He tried to make it happen there. Charles Smith knocked it loose to Starks, and Starks repaid him with an easy one. And Patrick Ewing knows that the way that the Knicks can win this game and get back into it is with their aggressive defense.
And that since Rick Smith sat down, picking up his second foul, the Knicks have outscored the Pacers 10-6. 4 minutes to go in the half. Indiana 50, New York 43. 7th and final game. The winner advancing to the Eastern Conference Final to go up against Orlando. And the call against the Pacers. Offensive foul. Foul on Antonio Davis, his second. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, exclusive coverage of the NBA Draft Lottery right here on NBC. Top college stars such as Maryland's Joe Smith, North Carolina's dynamic duo Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace available to the lottery winner. Bob Costas will be hosting on the Prudential Halftime Report. The NBA Draft Lottery at halftime. Ewing with the pick. Smith coming up short. Oakley, yes! And it counts. Charles Oakley with a terrific reaction. Now the question is, did the basket count? Apparently the basket will not count.
Well, Charles Smith trying to force things here, taking a bad shot. Charles Smith had it all the way. Catch and shoot all in one motion as he was hacked on the play. I have seen longer continuations, much longer than that. Charles Oakley probably should have been given credit for that basket.
Instead, 2 shots. He was fouled before the shot attempt. That is the interpretation right here, and he's at the line for 2 with Indiana over the limit.
Well, Eddie Rush, who had a very good look at it, ruling, I guess, that Charles Oakley had a foot on the floor, which he did, but he released the ball as the foot was on the floor. Should have counted.
So that was a possible 3-point play rather than the possible 2 points. And the Knicks have trimmed it to a 5-point lead off a 6-0 run. 3.5 remaining in the first half. And the crowd chanting defense. Jackson did not go for the pick and roll with Antonio Davis. Here's Mitchell on the drive, rejected by Smith, but Dale Davis is right there. 12 points for Dale Davis. The Pacers lead by 7. And the call away from the ball with Mitchell looking for position against Smith.
Well, Patrick Ewing has been so active defensively, looking to help out, looking to challenge and block shots, and that's what enabled his man, Dale Davis, to just sit on the weak side doorstep to get that little follow-in. I just keep going back to last night, talking to Larry Brown. He sounded so negative and so pessimistic about whether or not Dale Davis would be able to do anything. He said, I'm going to start him, but I don't really know what he can give us. He's in a lot of pain. He's not very effective. I just don't know, and we're a mediocre team without him. Well, they're much more than that today with him.
But that, of course, is Larry at his very best. He's only happy when he's unhappy. Pacers by 5 with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. And the call against the Knicks is Kersey with the very extended interpretation here of the illegal defense, explaining it to Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing. The second call on the Knicks, so a technical foul awarded Indiana.
And the participants knew it well, both Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley there, and that was just a case of the Knicks being so aggressive and so quick defensively. Ewing stepping out to show as Reggie Miller with another miss from the free throw line. Ewing stepped out to show. Oakley read it from the weak side to pick up Dale Davis on the roll to the basket, and they got caught in no man's land.
Reggie Miller 1 of 3 at the line. He's one of the best foul shooters in the league. Indiana leading by 5. 2:45 left in the first half. Miller played very tightly by Starks, but Starks got picked off, and a foul against the Knicks. And words between Oakley and Miller. Foul on Ewing. That is his second.
Well, the Knicks big men so conscious and aware that Reggie Miller is looking to score every time he touches the ball. Patrick Ewing just way too late in showing out there. And again, we've seen another case of a guard. We saw Greg Anthony do it earlier. A guard taking advantage of the bigger, slower player by just initiating a little bit of contact and bouncing off and getting the foul.
And that Larry Brown going with the same philosophy regarding Rick Smits that we've seen throughout the series. With the 2 fouls, he's leaving him on the bench probably for the rest of the half. And we've seen Smith, particularly early in the series, coming back refreshed and come on with very strong second half efforts.
Well, in particular, third quarters, his last couple fourth quarters have not been strong.
Double team of Ewing. Pitches it back, broken up by Mitchell. The save by Smith, and it's intercepted. Here come the Pacers on a 4-on-3. Miller eluding Starks, going glass. Rebound Smith. Bad pass by Smith. Intercepted by Jackson. Jackson from Mitchell. And the foul is called. It is an offensive foul.
Well, Charles Smith throwing a couple away. One, he had to try to save the ball from half court. The second one started this, but Sam Mitchell out of control on that catch as he really had no place to go. Patrick Ewing stepping up, I guess, far enough to take that charge. I thought he was too far underneath the basket.
Good look from Harper to find Ewing. So the Pacers now lead by 5. They've led by as many as 12 with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Mitchell. Miller. Jackson. Shot clock at 5. Harper with the switch. Jackson for 3. 24-second violation. Indiana calling for a goaltend.
It's a goaltend, or Jess Kersey, who had a good look at this, as Larry Brown and the Pacer bench felt that that ball ticked the rim, so it shouldn't be a 24-second violation. We will get another look at it.
And apparently they're going to call it a jump ball, which does not satisfy Larry Brown.
And he is saying, and if you can read his lips, we had the ball, but again with the whistle and the confusion, this is probably the fairest way to do it under these circumstances. But a terrific sequence defensively by the Knicks, just pressuring every pass. The Pacers doing a good job of continually moving the ball, but the New York Knicks defense has just been relentless.
Both clubs have shot extremely well at 55% apiece. Pacers by 5 points, minute 20 to go in this first half. Ewing. Last touch by Indiana. A new 24 for the Knicks.
Even though the Knicks did not get the offensive rebound, Oakley's effort forced the Pacers to knock it out, and now they'll get a couple of free throws.
And now the Knicks asking for a goaltend, but a foul is called. Now let's take a look at that last shot by Mark Jackson. The question is, as you mentioned, did it hit the rim?
Well, I think it clearly hit the rim just by the misdirection of the ball. And there, yes, and you can actually see the rim moving. And Larry Brown's complaint was that the Pacers had the ball, and consequently, the Knicks won the tip.
Oakley is 4 of 5 at the line. Pacers by 5 with a minute 12 remaining in the half. And the Knicks 14 of 17 at the line. So that is very strong free throw shooting for a team that has certainly had its ups and downs at the foul line. The Indiana lead once 12 is now 4. Ewing breaks it up. The Knicks coming on particularly defensively here in the second quarter. And a 20 is taken by the Pacers.
And that's how the Knicks have climbed back in this game after trailing by 12 to now 4 right now. As Patrick Ewing's effort defensively has just been incredible. He is so alert, so aware, going for everything around the basket, and you can tell Patrick is not thinking about anything out there. He is just playing the game of basketball the best way he knows how, and that was with a lot of heart and a lot of effort.
Well, this is a series that has come down to a 7th and final game. It's been pressure-packed right throughout game 1. To the Pacers here at the Garden. Reggie Miller with the late game heroics. Game 2, the Knicks bounced back in a blowout, a very quiet game for Reggie Miller. That tied the series. Game 3, the Pacers winning at overtime, 97-95, killing the Knicks off the boards. Game 4 last Saturday, won by Indiana. Then games 5 and 6 to the Knicks, led by the combination of Anthony Mason. Ewing had the game winner in game 5, and Ewing coming up very strong game 6 on Friday night, bringing us to this afternoon here at the Garden. Jackson now played on a switch by Mason. Jackson, and he drew the foul. That's a schoolyard matchup out of Queens with Mark Jackson going against Anthony Mason.
Well, Pat Riley, with just under a minute to go in this first half, taking out Patrick Ewing, who played brilliantly in this first half. He does have 2 personals. He wants to save that, and Patrick has expended a lot of energy, but the Pacers sensing that the big man is no longer in there, patrolling the lane and challenging shots. A smart play by Mark Jackson to drop that head and take it to the hole.
Mark Jackson out of St. John's. In his 8th NBA season, he spent 5 years with the Knicks, 2 with the Los Angeles Clippers, and he's given the Pacers a 56-50 lead. Under 1 minute left in the half. Hopper guarded by Jackson. Oakley for Smith. Nicely done, beautifully timed. And it's Indiana by 4 with 35 seconds remaining first half. Antonio Davis for Byron Scott. And a travel. Byron Scott with a number of traveling violations throughout the series.
Well, the Knicks have hooked up on this play time and time again this year. Perfect timing between Oakley and Smith. The perfect pass. All Charles has to do is catch and drop it in.
There's a 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Down to 10 on the 24. Starks. He's been off. Offensive interference, the call against the Knicks. John Starks now 1 of 5 from the floor. 9 9/10 seconds remaining. First half. The ball back to the Pacers. They lead by 4. Jackson going to the spin. Nice center to Mitchell. And time is run out. So Reggie Miller, the high man, with 18. Patrick Ewing leading the Knicks with 17. Indiana's led by as many as 12. At the half, they're up by 4. Stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report, including the NBA Draft Lottery after these words.
Out here, you're just like everybody else. Doesn't matter how many tournaments you've won. Nobody cares about your 40-foot birdie putt last weekend. And no one wants your autograph.
On the freeway, all men are created equal. Fortunately, all vehicles are not. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
If you think aftershave has to hurt to work, then you're probably getting burned, because you sure aren't using one with cooling sensates. Sensitive from Old Spice. It's more than a great scent. This is real refreshment. Want proof? Put your aftershave here. Put sensitive here. If this doesn't take the sting out of aftershave, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a bottle of yours. Come on, take the sensitive challenge from Old Spice. You're gonna feel a whole lot better about aftershave. I do.
Mi amor, parece diferente esta noche.
Que no terminé de tipear el informe mensual de marketing. Es un plomo y me están presionando.
No te lo puedo creer. ¿Todavía no has oído hablar del nuevo software de reconocimiento de voz de IBM? Vos simplemente le hablas y te lo escribe automáticamente.
Estoy anonadada.
Because we don't all have the same face, there's the Schick Tracer. Tracer flexes to fit each individual face, leaving your unique face uniquely comfortable. The Schick Tracer. We're changing the face of shaving.
Here at our Goodyear tire plant in Union City, Tennessee, we're working extra hard to make enough tires for our big sale. All Goodyear Eagles, all Goodyear Wranglers, all on sale, all across America, from all of us in Union City.
I've said this a million times playing other golf courses when I was a kid coming up, but to actually live it and sit there and say, this 3-footer is to beat Nicklaus and win the U.S. Open.
The United States Open, coming to NBC June 15th.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. Now, with our live coverage of the NBA Draft Lottery, here's Bob Costas.
Halftime of Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks closed the half on a 15-7 run and whittled what was a 12-point deficit down to 4 at 56-52. Welcome to the NBA Draft Lottery, being held again this year at the NBA studios in Secaucus, New Jersey. The NBA Draft itself will take place on June 28th at Skydome in Toronto. Today, the order of selection will be determined by the 11th Annual Draft Lottery. First, let's determine what's at stake. Here's a look at some of the prospects who figure to be taken early in the first round. This year's draft features a strong group of forwards led by Maryland's Joe Smith.
But Smith there for the slam.
From the University of North Carolina, the multi-talented Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace.
With 5 on the shot clock, Williams didn't get the bounce. Wallace!
Russell really needs a little space.
Fresh off a national championship, UCLA's Ed O'Bannon.
3-on-3. Ed goes all the way, lays it up and in.
Also at forward from the SEC, Alabama's Antonio McDyess.
Oh, jammed in by McDyess. What a catch.
And Arkansas's Corliss Williamson.
Williamson, what a move.
A center who could go early is Oklahoma State's Bryant Reeves. Though the backcourt pickings are slimmer, there's always Michigan State's Sean Respert.
Here's Respert for 3. That looks good.
And now on to that annual highlight of the program, an explanation of the rules. The lottery is a weighted system that gives the teams with the poorest records the best chance of securing the top picks. The teams draw for the top 3 picks. The remaining positions are slotted based on the team's regular season records. This year, the 2 expansion franchises, the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies, take part in the draft. They automatically receive the 6th or 7th picks in the draft, the exact order to be determined next month. Among the 11 teams in the lottery, the team with the fewest wins in the regular season, the LA Clippers, has a 25% chance of securing the first pick in the draft. The teams tied with the second fewest wins, the Bullets and Timberwolves, have just over an 18% shot, and so on down to Sacramento, which just missed the playoffs and has only a 0.5% chance of getting the top pick. One other note, if Detroit's first-round pick is not one of the top 8, then San Antonio will have the right to swap its pick for Detroit's selection as part of the compensation from the Dennis Rodman, Sean Elliott trade. If that happens, Detroit falls all the way to the 29th pick, since San Antonio had the best record in the regular season this year. The actual drawing has just been conducted in a separate room under the supervision of NBA Deputy Commissioner Russ Granick. The process was witnessed by representatives of the 11 lottery teams, different representatives from the individuals sitting here. Also there was Mark Manoff, a partner in the international accounting firm of Ernst & Young. Mr. Manoff is the only person who knows the results. He's now taking these sealed envelopes containing the results of the draft lottery over to the podium. A hush falls over the room. The envelopes will be opened shortly by Commissioner David Stern. Anybody trying to sneak a peek will have to deal with NBA Vice President of Security, Horace Ballmer. Now here are the team representatives. From the Sacramento Kings, Vice President of Basketball Operations, Jeff Petrie. From the Dallas Mavericks, owner Ron Carter. Last year's lottery winner was the Milwaukee Bucks. They're represented again by Vice President of Basketball Operations and head coach Mike Dunleavy. From the Miami Heat, Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Dave Wohl. From the New Jersey Nets, Executive Vice President and GM Willis Reed. Representing the Detroit Pistons, their new head coach Doug Collins. From the Golden State Warriors, General Manager Dave Twardzik. From the Philadelphia 76ers, Vice President of Basketball Operations and head coach John Lucas. Representing the Minnesota Timberwolves, their new general manager Flip Saunders. From the Washington Bullets, the first pick in the 1993 draft, Chris Webber. And from the Los Angeles Clippers, head coach Bill Fitch. We'll be back with Commissioner David Stern's announcement of the top picks in this year's NBA draft right after a message from Prudential.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company, a company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
The people of CARE know that there are thousands of families around the world who face starvation, who need clean water to avoid fatal disease, and who need the tools to learn to help themselves. But as the NBA's Dikembe Mutombo has seen in his homeland of Africa, a little care can make a world of difference.
Show that to you, CARE.
And now to announce the order of the top picks in this year's NBA draft, here's the Commissioner, David Stern.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 1995 NBA Draft Lottery. Everyone has been briefed on the lottery procedures, so let's get started and find out the order of selection in this year's draft. The 13th pick goes to the Sacramento Kings.
That is just where they would have expected to be. They just had a 0.5% chance to get the number one.
The 12th pick goes to the Dallas Mavericks. The 11th pick goes to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Form holds thus far, and if it continues, Miami would be next.
The 10th pick goes to the Miami Heat. The 9th pick goes to the New Jersey Nets.
No surprises yet.
The 8th pick goes to the Detroit Pistons.
And the Pistons keep their pick rather than that possible swap with San Antonio.
Feeling better? Next season, the NBA will be expanding to Canada with the addition of the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies. As part of that expansion, the Raptors and the Grizzlies will pick at the 7th and 6th positions in the 1995 draft. Thus, their logos have already been placed on the board. Which team picks where to be decided later. Now back to the envelopes. The 5th pick goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Golden State has moved up to one of the first 3 picks. Philadelphia has also moved up.
And the 4th pick goes to the Washington Bullets.
So that leaves the Clippers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Golden State Warriors with a shot at the top pick. And we'll be back to find out the order of selection for those first 3 choices in the NBA draft right after these messages from your local station.
Tuesday, the wait is over. A special 1-hour wings. Joe and Helen in the must-see wedding of the year.
The beginning of our life together.
The perfect day, except the bride's got a mustache. The guests are going wild, and the ring's in the toilet.
I gotta use a can.
Then, the season finale of Frasier.
It must be a blackout.
Thank goodness for 2 well-trained psychiatrists.
There is no need to panic.
Need place to die. Followed by the season finale of Lara Kent with Fresh Princess Karen Parsons. Must-see TV, NBC Tuesday.
We're back from the Southwest. Springfield Fireworks has a whole new selection of decorative and authentic Indian items for your home and office, including prints from your favorite Southwest artists. Springfield Fireworks has Western boots at low, low prices, Diamond J by Justin, Heritage West from Double H, and Tony Lamas, just to name a few. There's blankets and pottery and boots galore. We've told you we're not just a fireworks store. Ask about our new 24-hour patrolled storage units. Springfield Fireworks, just off I-75 next to McDonald's in Bluffton.
May brings the greatest loan sale ever at Mike Pruitt Slammer Ford. Hey, have you ever been refused a loan? Don't worry about it. So have I. But when one door closes, another one opens. During the month of May, we're making it even easier to get the loan or a vehicle of your choice. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or van, our doors are open wide for you. It's the biggest loan sale ever at Mike Pruitt Slammer Ford. Stop in and see why nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. Nobody.
In a calm for today, in a calm for tomorrow. Smart solutions to help you manage information efficiently. Design, develop, implement. We'll make it all work together. Think of where you wanna go. Think in a calm for today, in a calm for tomorrow.
WLIO Lima. You're watching the 1995 NBA playoffs on NBC.
So the top 3 picks belong to the Warriors, the 76ers, and the Clippers. Their representatives seated in the first row. Statistically, the Clippers have the best chance to get the number 1 pick. To find out the order, again, here's the commissioner, David Stern.
Now let's find out who will pick 1, 2, and 3 in the 1995 NBA draft. And then we can get back to the game. The 3rd pick in the 1995 NBA draft goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. second pick in the 1995 NBA draft goes to the Los Angeles Clippers. And that means that the Golden State Warriors will pick first in the 1995 NBA draft. Come on up and put this up on the board.
Well, let's move in now and talk with the new top man in the front office, Dave Twardzik. You just hired Rick Adelman as your new head coach. Now, obviously, he'll have some input into this. Some thoughts on the first selection?
Well, I'd like to take credit for it, but Father Peter was in the background in the other room, so a little divine intervention. We're very happy with this. Now our homework starts. We have to figure out who we want.
Isn't this the priest who married the team owner? Is that the deal?
Yes, married Chris Cohen.
I mean, conducted the ceremony, didn't actually marry him.
Baptized their children. Yes, he's our East Coast chaplain. Yeah, he did a great job today.
You have some thoughts on the type of player you'll select, if not the exact player?
Not really. I think we're going to get together with all of our basketball people. You mentioned Rick Adelman and Ed Gregory, Al Adels. We'll all get involved and figure out what's best for us.
This has been a turbulent and disappointing year for the Warriors, so now a bit of good news.
Well, we hope by hiring Rick Adelman, that's definitely a step in the right direction, a proven winner, and then having the first pick, it gives us a tremendous amount of options, and we look forward to taking big steps.
Joe Smith is looked upon by many people as the best player from Maryland. Obviously, you select according to what your specific needs are, but is Smith somebody we might guess at?
Well, absolutely. I think if you look at the top four guys are all underclassmen, and they're all very intriguing. We just have to, again, start our background research, watch a lot of film, and we're going to go after it.
Dave, congratulations.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, Dave Twardzik of the Golden State Warriors. Now, by way of review, here's the order of selection for next month's NBA draft. Golden State has the first pick, followed by the Clippers, the 76ers, the Bullets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, then Toronto and Vancouver in some order or other to the new expansion teams. The exact order, 6 and 7, will be determined prior to the draft next month. Then the Pistons in the 8th slot, the Nets 9th, the Heat 10th, the Bucks 11th, the Mavericks 12th, and the Kings 13th. One other quick note. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals is tomorrow night between the Spurs and the Rockets in San Antonio. TNT will have the tip-off at 8:30 Eastern Time. Meanwhile, it's halftime of Game 7 with the Pacers leading the Knicks by 4. We'll send it back to the Garden right after these messages.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Hey, Jason Kidd got co-rookie of the year.
Jason Kidd won co-rookie of the year.
Jason deserves a party.
Jordan's got the biggest house.
Did you get Jason a gift?
I don't know what to buy him.
You think you'd like candles? How about a picture frame? Potpourri? Jump shot?
I think a nice casserole would be fine.
Oh, that's what I was gonna bring.
Hey, Reggie, you drive.
I got room for you and you and you.
Not you.
Don't feel bad, Dennis. You gotta be a rookie to win.
My turn around. Twisted. Now meet the Carmel King of the castle. Keeping his tight, CL smooth, sipping on Sprite. It's the Mechadon, never swerving untitled. Knowing commercial rap needs to be recycled. Collecting cans for Knicks picks, my latest LP. Now obey my thirst, son, precisely. I got the knack to rock, I'm steady heating up the spot. The chocolate boy wonder making heads bop. Plus I...
We were looking for the most significant vehicle in the market. We weighed technological advancement, value, and performance. Introducing Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
You know, the apartment itself is, it's a small apartment. I'm not sitting here acting like it's a big apartment by any means. So, you know, it's small. And I pay way too much rent for it. But I like the view.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden as we head to the third quarter. Indiana Pacers have a 56-52 lead on the New York Knicks. Marv Albert, Matt Kukas, we welcome you back. Indiana led by as many as 12 in the first half. And Matt, I thought the Knicks defense helped get them back into it in the second quarter.
And it all started with pressure in the backcourt, primarily by Derek Harper, also John Starks, and then just a terrific job by Patrick Ewing, patrolling the lane, challenging some shots, and blocking 4 shots. And I'm sure both coaches talked to their teams at halftime about why they are here right now. It's because of defense and rebounding. They're going to have to even do it better in this second half.
To look now at the Miller Lite halftime stats. A good shooting first half. Look at Indiana, 22 of 42, 52%. The Knicks, 18 of 33 for 55%. Patrick Ewing had the hot hand right from the start, 7 of 9, 17 points. Reggie Miller also hot, 7 of 11 for 18 points. Rebounding was on the even side, the slight edge to the Pacers, and Dale Davis, a question mark because of the injured shoulder, came out strong with 12 points, 5 rebounds. Davis in his 18 minutes, 6 of 8 from the field. Check in with Ahmad Rashad and Jim Gray. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Marv. During that halftime, Pat Riley telling his team that they must defend better in the paint. Also, to keep up their defensive intensity. He figures that the team that's going to win this game is the one that will be able to keep their defense intense. Also, on the offensive side, he says they want to run the ball more often, coming off the Pacers' missed shots. For the Pacers side, let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. I spoke to Larry Brown. He said that the Pacers need to get more second shot opportunities here in the second half. He also said we played the first quarter with no turnovers, 5 turnovers in the second half. We got a little complacent, and we started to take things for granted. He's also very concerned, wants to get Dale Davis and Derek McKee through this quarter. Both of them have 3 fouls. He says if we can get them through this quarter, we could be in very good shape heading to the fourth. Mark?
All right, Jim. A look at the individual scoring totals in the first half. The leaders are Ewing and Miller. Reggie with 18, Dale Davis with 12. Rick Smits, who was on the floor for only 14 minutes, was lifted after picking up a second foul. 8 points for Smits, 7 for McKee. Patrick Ewing, high man for the Knicks with 17. Charles Smith in his 16 minutes, 4 of 5 from the field for 10 points.
It'll be interesting to see how the Pacers come out and how they want to attack. They started the game by going inside to Derek McKee as the first look and then swinging around to Smith. We'll see if they want to go to Smith early in this third quarter. And midway through the second quarter, when the Knicks were struggling offensively, I said somebody from New York has to step up and help Patrick Ewing. Well, it was a lot of different people. Charles Smith, a little bit from Oakley on the line, a little bit from John Starks.
Indiana ball as this third quarter gets underway. Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller at the guards, Rick Smits, Dale Davis, Derek McKee up front. Smits working his way on Ewing. Beautiful stroke by Rick Smits, and the Pacers lead by 6.
And that question, I guess, has been answered because Rick Smits is having his problems defending Patrick Ewing. The one way to possibly negate that is go at Ewing at the other end.
Starks got the step. Pacers 58, and the Knicks 54. John Starks, with only his second field goal, has not been able to do it from outside. Miller trying to send Starks into a pick. Smits, and a foul. It's on Ewing, who is pleading his point of view, but he has collected his third.
Well, Patrick, who has played so well defensively, really makes a mental error here. Even though Rick Smits has good shooting touch from that range, Smits gave Ewing a little bit of his own medicine, got him too close to him, and then tried to drive by, and just a little shove and touch as Patrick now has 3.
Charles Smith now switching off, defending against the 7'4" Smits, and a foul is called. Foul on Smith, non-shooting foul, and McKee will put it in play. That's 3 on Smith.
Well, this is one of the luxuries that the Knicks have. They can put different people on Smith. It's Smith right now, and Ewing can play off the ball and guard Dale Davis, who's not normally an offensive threat, but you wouldn't know it by today's game.
There's Dale Davis with a 12-point first half. And another turnover.
Well, Charles Smith just out of control on that semi-break, and now Patrick Ewing barking at John Stark saying, hold it up, that was not a clean fast break opportunity. If we don't have it, let's make sure we set up and get a good shot. I think that's what he said.
I thought you captured it. And Ewing able to wrestle it free. New York ball down by 4. Minute 45 gone by in the third quarter. Starks behind the back for Oakley. Here's Smith. And a jump ball is called. Ewing with the tie-up on Jackson.
Well, Charles Smith coming out trying to be as aggressive as possible every time he's gotten the ball, now trying to take the ball to the basket, and that's not such a bad idea. It makes the defense reactive, and then somebody else might get an opportunity, as Ewing almost had one there, getting tied up with Reggie Miller or Mark Jackson. I thought it was Miller in there, but they're putting Jackson in the jump.
And just Kersey looking to make certain no one steps in too quickly on this jump ball, with Oakley looking for position, Miller looking. And the Knicks control. Ewing over Smith. So the Knicks within 2 points. Ewing has 19. He's playing with 3 fouls. Smith's playing with 2. Charles Smith doing a good job fronting Rick Smits. Smith's able to get to the ball. Jackson. Rebound Ewing. Starks for Hopper. Smith. Well, the Knicks able to swing it. They had the open shot, but could not convert. Indiana with the ball, up by 2. McKee off the dribble. Again, it's Ewing defending against Smits. Shot clock at 5. Jackson gets inside. Oh, beautiful shot by Mark Jackson.
Terrific all-around play, and a smart one by Jackson, initially seeing that Ewing picked up Smith actually on a switch in a transition play, tried to go inside of the big guy to possibly get number 4 on Ewing.
Charles Smith, who has contributed offensively, he now has 12. Pacers lead 60-58. Mark Jackson with 8 points, handling against Derek Hopper. Now Charles Smith battling Rick Smits, and it will be Nick Ball.
And once again, another nice job by Charles Smith, who has some length to him, a long reach, and enough body just to bang and lean on Rick Smith to throw him off balance. You couldn't go a whole game with a Smith or a Mason or an Oakley on Smith, but when you have Patrick Ewing, you can mix it up and be effective.
Charles Smith goes 6'10", about 245 pounds. Hopper did not have the shot. Here comes Miller in the open floor. Miller slicing his way, and it's tipped home. Mark Jackson with the tip. And Mark Jackson has 10 points.
Well, we saw Reggie Miller come out in Game 3 and be much more aggressive as far as taking the ball to the basket, not settling for jump shot. He looks like he has that mindset here in the third quarter.
And Derek Hopper lost the dribble.
But Reggie forcing the action here on the break, a smart thing, and good hustle once again by Mark Jackson, not taking anything for granted, following up on the play, as the Knicks not doing a good enough job in transition defense.
Pacers lead 62-58. 7.5 to go in the third. Here's McKee. Indiana in the midst of a good run. They now lead by 6. 9 points for McKee. And the Knicks want to talk it over. Timeout called by Pat Riley. You are watching the NBA on NBC.
We've got takeoff. We've got a chance. We've got a chance.
I just can't afford the car I want.
Your Chrysler Plymouth dealer offers our biggest cash back ever, or our lowest interest rates ever, or our lowest lease rates ever on Plymouth Neon, Chrysler LHS, Concorde, New Yorker, LeBaron Convertible, even the Car of the Year, Chrysler Cirrus. We hear you, and we've got your number. Our biggest sale ever at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer now.
The Krylon Touch
means making the old look new.
The Krylon Touch.
And the boring becomes beautiful. Show your true colors.
Don't just paint, give it the Krylon Touch.
Only with Krylon.
Used to be Sunday was the only day you had time to fix a real family meal. But now with so many choices of chicken and side dishes at KFC, you can have Sunday dinner 7 days a week.
Everybody needs a little KFC.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sports Sedan. By Snickers, packed with peanuts. Snickers really satisfies. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
4.5 minutes into the third, Indiana by 6 points. And this is a series that certainly received additional attention when after game one, Reggie Miller labeled the Knicks as choke artists. Now, how have the Knicks reacted? Here are the thoughts of Charles Smith.
There's no doubt in my mind that, you know, by Reggie mentioning that we're choke artists and they're ready to sweep us, there's no doubt in my mind that that put a little surge in us, that put a little drive in us, not to go out there and get Reggie, but to win the series. I mean, that gave us a little extra boost because, you know, even when I lay in my bed at night, you know, the night before the game or the day of the game, you just think about, well, how would it be if, you know, if the Indiana Pacers beat us and Reggie comes through with the things he said. That doesn't put a good taste in my mouth, and it doesn't make you feel good at all.
Well, since then, Reggie Miller has certainly toned down his comments. Actually, both clubs have been very careful. 6-point Indiana lead. Shot clock down to 6, and Derek McKee able to bail out the Pacers. So they have extended to a 66-58 advantage with 6:38 to go in this third quarter. 6-0 run by the Pacers. And a foul call. It's on Mark Jackson, his second.
Both teams have been very quiet from beyond the three-point arc. The Knicks just 2 for 6. Indiana 2 for 5. And Jim Gray telling us during that last timeout, Larry Brown telling his team, I want you to drive the ball at every opportunity. Don't settle for jump shots.
Smith. Strong move by Smith. First he beat Oakley. The help came late. And Indiana has a 10-point margin. They've led by as many as 12. The turnover committed by Ewing leading to the bucket by Smits.
Derek Harper getting the ball inside to Patrick Ewing, who just lost himself there, just fumbled the ball away. As the post-up situation with Oakley not having the foot speed to stay with Rick Smith. So Larry Brown telling his team, drive it at every opportunity. This is the Pacers feel that this is the weak link in the Knicks' overall defense, that they do not guard people well off the dribble. They do not have the good lateral movement. Now that's primarily the big people, because Derek Harper, John Starks, and some of the other guards do move their feet well.
8-0 run by the Pacers. They lead 68-58. Harper and Starks as the guards. Oakley, Ewing, and now Mason up front. Ewing in a battle with Smits, who has forced Ewing out deep. Shot clock at 4. Harper for 3. And a loose ball foul against the Knicks. Just Kersey with the indication, and now it appears that he's calling it the other way.
Jess was drifting backwards, but it was, he got it right. Jess a little bit embarrassed there. He had the right person here. As the Knicks just not doing a good job on the offensive board. However, this time, Charles Oakley with the inside position and Rick Smith clearly over his back.
And that number 3 on Smits. Mason. And the foul, Oakley with a shot on the far head. He'll go to the line. And that is number 4 on Smits.
Well, this is why Larry Brown is so conservative in the first halves with Rick Smith when he picks up 2, because he knows they can come in bunches. We've seen 2 very quick ones here, as Rick, who doesn't particularly block a lot of shots. He will clog the area. He is 7'4". He does take up space, but he has problems when other people put the ball on the floor against him as far as getting out of their way.
Smits will sit down, replaced by Antonio Davis. Rick Smith, 6 of 10, 12 points, and that's a telling statistic. With Smits on the bench, the Knicks have outscored the Pacers 25-17.
Because really now with Smits on the bench, you don't have to double team. There will be cases sometimes if Derek McKee is pounding the ball, backing his way in, or making a move in the lane, you will come and double team. But other than that, if you don't have to double team, you can play everybody straight up and you don't give up open shots.
Pacers 68, Knicks 59. And Steve Javie calling an official timeout. Apparently there was some debris on the floor. And one of the ball boys out to take care of it.
Either some soda which made the floor sticky, or I think there's a piece of gum on the bottom of Steve Javie's foot, so he's maybe feeling something else.
Let's check it out, Matt. You know, those courtside celebs can be so messy. Now, we're not talking about Spike Lee necessarily.
So far, things have been very quiet between Reggie Miller and Spike.
They usually wait for the 4th quarter for the theatrics. Reggie Miller had an excellent first half. Reggie had the touch going at the start, 7 of 11 in his 19 minutes for 18 points. And apparently other matters to be taken care of, and will be set to resume. 5.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the Pacers leading 68-59.
It's a very important time for the Knicks right now. They had to come back in the 2nd quarter after being down 12, and they did it with very aggressive defense on the ball. Have not seen that yet in this 3rd quarter. We're almost we are halfway through.
Jackson, running it offensively, forced it, and a break for the Pacers. Oakley trying to save it. And stepped out. It will be Indiana ball with 7 on the shot clock. Mark Jackson has come up with a very strong game. 10 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and now Larry Brown wants a timeout. Pacers leading by 9. We'll be back in a moment.
Puck is flying at you at 90 miles an hour. I can't let hunger get in my way, so I grab a Snickers.
Packed with peanuts, milk, chocolate, and caramel. Nothing stops your hunger like a Snickers.
Excuse me, coming through.
The new Chrysler Cirrus has an advanced 24-valve V6. Its cab-forward design conveniently provides room for 5 and a vast array of new technology. It has dual airbags and advanced rail-through construction for superior handling and quietness. Chrysler Cirrus. While its name is derived from the heavens, one of the best reasons to own one is very down to earth. Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. It's not just a step above, It's the new plateau.
It's a breakthrough that brings us to a new level of performance. In the rain, in the snow. It even saves gas. Michelin's new energy tires with radial XSE technology. It's science that goes beyond magic.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one. You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
Tonight,
It's killing us.
will a deadly disease from Earth's past wipe out the colony?
You are condemning all these people to death. There's nothing you can do.
Earth 2, NBC tonight.
Jerry Seinfeld on hand, bonding with Lester Connor to his right, and Irvin Magic Johnson. Lester Connor, a one-time Indiana Pacer, one-time many ball clubs around the NBA, and I believe part of the Magic Johnson touring all-star squad.
I saw them in the back hall when they walked in. I said, "What brings you guys here?" They just came in to see the game. I asked Magic if it was any truth in playing next year. He said, "Partly."
Partly.
I said, "Which part?"
22nd timeout taken. McKee having difficulty getting in, so avoiding the 5-second violation. Well, just getting a glimpse at Jerry Seinfeld leads us to this promotional mention tonight at 7, 6 Central. It's an all-new Earth 2, followed by an alien adventure on the season finale of Sequest. And then it is the world premiere movie, The Elizabeth Taylor Story. All tonight starting at 7, 6 Central here on NBC. 5:24 left in the third quarter. Indiana Pacers have taken the play away from the New York Knicks. They are up by 9. You see 7 remaining on the shot clock. McKee gets it in for Jackson. And a foul. Hopper claiming that he had the hands up, but it's called a hand check on Derek.
Well, the Knicks defense took away the first option there, which was a double screen for Reggie Miller coming up to the top of the key. Terrific defense, and Mark Jackson playing with a great deal of confidence. Knows that he can take the ball on the floor and get pretty much wherever he wants to.
Miller backing up for the 3. Reggie Miller hitting his second from downtown, and the Pacers have matched their biggest lead of the game. They are up by 12.
And the biggest factor right now is the Pacers have taken the crowd out of this game at this point.
Knicks working the ball around, but not able to find the shot. Starks, and rebounded by Antonio Davis. John Starks has not been able to hit from the outside. Reggie Miller has another 3, and he has begun the stare with Spike Lee. A 14-1 run by Indiana. And Indiana with a 74-59 lead.
Just a little while ago, I was mentioning how both teams very quiet with the three-point shooting. This is not an easy one, but Reggie will take this on the backup situation, and then he starts to feel it. And this is where he is more apt to get a better look for the 3. Perfect feed from Mark Jackson, and Reggie drains another one.
So Reggie Miller now feeling it. Reggie with 24 points.
Hey, Jason Kidd got co-rookie of the year.
Jason Kidd won co-rookie of the year.
Jason deserves a party.
Jordan's got the biggest house.
Did you get Jason a gift?
I don't know what to buy him. You think he'd like candles? How about a picture frame? Potpourri? Jump shot? I think a nice casserole would be fine.
Oh, that's what I was gonna bring.
Hey, Reggie, you drive.
I got room for you and you and you. Not you.
Don't feel bad, Dennis. You gotta be a rookie to win.
Well, to this point, it has been all Reggie Miller. as the Pacers have opened up a 74-59 lead. Miller 9 of 14 for 24 points. John Starks a non-factor, 2 of 6 from the field, only 8 points, 0 for 3 from downtown.
And John just has never looked like he's been any part of the offense. From the very beginning, the Knicks were going into Patrick Ewing, and he responded by scoring over and going around Rick Smith. But John Starks is going to have to pick it up big time here in the next 16 minutes. And the Knicks have to do something out on the floor, create some excitement to get the crowd on their side.
The Knicks have gone 4 minutes and 4 seconds without a field goal. They have been through these droughts on a number of occasions during the season. Trailing now by 15 with the season on the line for both clubs. The winner advances to the Eastern Conference Final to face Orlando. Hopper for 3. So Derek Hopper knocks down a three-pointer, and the Pacers lead by 12.
Patient possession, very probing as the Knicks didn't force anything and got the good luck for Derek Harper.
Harper tried to draw the foul. Here's Dale Davis. Rebound Oakley. The lead intended for Starks, and he got a break, able to recover. Whoa, some tentative ball handling.
Well, it was a fumble pass, but you could almost look at it as he passed to himself, but it was a legal play.
Harper for 3. Yes. Consecutive shots from downtown for Derek Harper, who has been a big shot specialist. It brings the Knicks with a 9 with 3.5 left, third quarter. Shot clock at 6. Miller and a foul. Oakley stepping in the path, and he's called for the block.
The Knicks starting to force things here a little bit as Derek Harper threw that ball to John Starks in a lot of traffic. A good break for New York, and at the fumble, he was able to catch up to it as Derek Harper starting to give the Knicks some life and get the crowd back into it. But Reggie Miller at the other end right now, having made those 2 threes, is setting up the situation where his defender has to get up into his chest, and that enables him to drive and do this, something he does as well as maybe Mark Price, the 2 best free throw shooters in basketball.
Spike in disguise here. I think Reggie will fight him.
He knows where to look. He's looking over there now.
Indiana 76, New York 65. Nice move by Starks. Cleanly beat Jackson off the dribble.
And the big man of Indiana falling asleep that time as the Knicks were all raised up above the top of the game, and nobody came to help. Reggie Miller, the only man there, and he got out of the way.
9-point lead for the Pacers. Reggie Miller scored their last 8 points. Miller looking for the screen. Antonio Davis, down ball to Dale Davis. Beautifully done. And Indiana now leads by 11.
I thought that pass was too high. It turned out to be right in the perfect spot for Dale Davis to catch and finish before he could get fouled. He is a poor free throw shooter.
Hopper won't count. They fouled before the shot. Push called on Jackson, and for Mark Jackson, his 3rd.
John Starks starting to get more frisky offensively, and Mark Jackson getting caught on the top side and just not quick enough to kind of level off on John Starks. And here's this high pass as Dale Davis able to get that sore right shoulder, which does not look very sore today, up and over his shoulder to finish off that play.
Each club with 4 team fouls. 2.5 left in the 3rd. Ewing facing a double team, pops it out. Starks for 3. Yes. Has been a notorious street shooter. They will be looking for him. The Indiana lead is 8. Here is Miller. Reggie Miller on fire. He's given the Pacers an 80-70 lead. Bad pass. Starks off the mark. Oakley diving for it. Steve Javie taken down accidentally. And we have not seen what the call is.
That's going to be hard for Steve Javie to make the call, although he does. He had help from Eddie Rush on the play.
And he is saying it will be Nick Ball, last touched by the Pacers.
Actually, this ball was thrown behind Charles Oakley because John Starks that was the only out rally, he had to throw it in there, but Oakley could not make the adjustment to catch up with that ball.
Knicks trailing by 10 with just under 2 minutes left in the third. Hopper. That's a two-pointer. Foot was on the line. And Derek Hopper, red hot. He has 15. For Indiana, Reggie Miller, 10 of 15, 28 points in all, 10 of his 28 here in the third. Miller, played by Starks. Shot clock at 7. And a foul on Starks. That is only his first.
Well, what is setting up all these open shots recently for the New York Knicks is Patrick Ewing getting the ball inside and waiting for the double team. And that is getting people like John Starks and Derek Harper wide open looks.
Reggie Miller, during the regular season, just under 90% at the free throw line. He is 6 for 8 this afternoon.
And some of the reason why the guards for New York not getting those open shots early in the ballgame is that Ewing was having such an easy time of scoring against Smith and making his move before the double team could get there.
And a loose ball foul against the Pacers. It's on Antonio Davis. And it will be a shooting foul with Indiana over the limit.
Now Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing with inside position and the long rebound. It looked like Patrick Ewing was just going to get control of it, but Antonio Davis a little too anxious, a little too over-aggressive, committing a poor foul.
Ewing 3 of 5 at the line. Pacers lead 81-72. John Thompson looking at his one-time Georgetown star, Patrick Ewing. John Thompson has followed this series back and forth between New York and Indianapolis.
John was telling me before the game about that he is going to make the tour as long as one of his players is involved. And Patrick's the only one right now. He lost to Kembe Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning earlier in the playoffs.
81-73, Indiana. Antonio Davis in a battle down low with Patrick Ewing. Now Miller isolated against Starks. With the shot clock at 3, goes off the mark, and it's handled by Harper. Just under 1 minute remaining in the third. Good play by Miller, breaking up the pass, kick ball though, so the Knicks get a new 24. Mason will throw in. Mason, Ewing, Oakley up front, Starks, and Hopper in the backcourt. And the pass deflected and stolen off the double team. Ewing's pass picked off. Well played by the Pacers. Miller. Again, they isolate Miller against Starks. Got the step. Workman pops it back out. Here's McKee for 3. Oakley rebounds. Fires down. Here's Starks. Yes, and it counts. Foul called on Workman.
Well, the crisp rebound by Charles Oakley, and even in this loud building, I could hear John Starks yell out, "Oak! So long!" And he found them on the release.
And Pat Riley helping with the English on that toss. Not a good foul by Workman. In that situation, if you're going to foul the play, you do it hard enough. So he's not able to get the shot off. It was kind of a light push by Workman.
And the Indiana offense has really bogged down in terms of just give the ball to Reggie Miller and let him isolate it. You have everybody else standing around.
Pacers lead 81-76. Down to 10 seconds to go. Third quarter. Miller. Time running down. And Mason pops it. That'll do it for the third. So the Knicks turning it around, although Reggie Miller has been on fire with 11 of the last 13 points for Indiana. The Pacers now lead 81-76 as we head to the fourth quarter.
I just can't afford the car I want.
Your Chrysler Plymouth dealer offers our biggest cash back ever, or our lowest interest rates ever, or our lowest lease rates ever on Plymouth Neon, Chrysler LHS, Concorde, New Yorker, LeBaron Convertible, even the Car of the Year, Chrysler Cirrus. We hear you, and we've got your number. Our biggest sale ever at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer now.
I could just dispatch the show.
Oops, you know. Ladies, you don't.
Watch this. Chantel is looking exquisite.
But can she jam?
Ball.
Comes up, she got hang time.
This is what I'm talking about, people.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Watch this. She's doing the move. She shakes, she bakes, she goes up. She got down.
Death-defying magic, Houdini secrets, NBC Wednesday.
We stand out. Lima Lincoln Mercury. Where it really counts.
At Lima Lincoln Mercury, we specialize in one thing, selling Lincoln Mercury cars. One of the largest inventories in the area means we have the right car right now. We have bargain prices on our 2-year plan like this. $279 for a new Sable, $249 for a Villager minivan, and $99.90 for a Lincoln Mark 8 or Town car on our 2-year cash plan. Big selection, great bargains today at Lima Lincoln Mercury.
I keep having this dream. I can feel every turn, every move, every spin. It's wild. Then I wake up. Sea-Doo. Hold on to your dreams and hold on tight.
Everybody doing it. Sea-Doo.
WLIO Lima. This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
So for the Knicks and the Pacers, it has come down to this fourth quarter of game number 7. And you look back a year ago, the Eastern Conference Finals prior to Game 6, Patrick Ewing with the indication that it will be a Game 7. And then this season, same scenario prior to Game 6, although more in an effort to get to his car to elude the media, he said, "See you Sunday." And it was picked up as a back page headline, but here we are on Sunday at Madison Square Garden. The Pacers 81 and the Knicks 76. The Knicks concluding the third quarter with a 17-7 run. They were down by as many as 15. Ewing, and that'll be a jump ball. We haven't seen that all season.
Well, that is actually a soft touch as it gets caught right between the rim and the backboard. In the closing minutes of the third quarter, Patrick was waiting for the double team and getting other people's shots. This time he turned away from any double team possibility to force that one up.
Rick Smits has made his return in the plus-minus rundown regarding Rick Smits. With Rick on the court, the Pacers have a plus 17 with Smits sitting down. It's a plus 12 for the Knicks. Going to National Hockey League type statistics here. The plus-minus derby involving Rick Smits. And the Knicks able to control it. Derek Harper's had the hot hand. He helped the Knicks back into it with a couple from downtown and then a 2-point jump shot. Ewing with the fake. Ewing on the follow. Indiana
remembers that when he has the ball outside with Smith running at him, he can beat him off the dribble, as he did there.
Ewing with 3 fouls, Smith with 4. And a foul is called. And that is number 4 on Patrick Ewing.
Patrick is so much more comfortable when he faces the basket, and Smith standing straight up, all 7'4" of him. No way can he move to block the path of Ewing. And Patrick getting his first offensive rebound of the game there off his own miss. If you remember in Game 7, and I do, he had 11 offensive rebounds as he had 22 overall. A big factor is Pat Riley right now has to give him a breather.
Yes, Charles Smith coming on. Rick Smith's going right at him. Oakley able to save it. Patrick Ewing did not want to come out. You could see the Sheepers' response from Riley, who said, just a couple of minutes. He'll be back.
Well, there's 11 minutes to go, and Pat Riley knows he's going to need Patrick Ewing down the stretch.
Indiana by 3. Minute 20 gone by in the 4th quarter. Reggie Miller getting a rest right here. Eric McKee rebounded by Smith, and he is fouled. If it's Smith, it's number 5. And it is. On Smith.
And what Larry Brown is really upset with Derek McKee that time for settling for that jump shot. He's telling his big players, you can beat those guys off the dribble. Force them to play it, then we'll get big scoring opportunities. But that was not a smart foul by Rick Smith. He just had to let that one go and run back.
So Rick Smith's back on the bench. Starks guarded by Workman. As he made the turn inside, he took the push. Haywood Workman collecting his 3rd.
And free throw shooting becomes crucial in these 4th quarters of close games. That's the 2nd team foul on Indiana, 1 for New York. And of course, making them down the stretch is so important. So far, the Knicks have had the best of it from the free throw line. 17 for 23 in the game. The Pacers 13 for 17.
Gilbert Davis, who just returned. Good box out by Antonio Davis, and he was fouled by Anthony Mason.
Well, Mason has had a lot of success the last couple of games in 4th quarters as far as getting to the offensive board, putting stickbacks, getting fouled. He took a chance there, but picked up the 2nd team foul. Hubert Davis is trying to be aggressive offensively. It looks to me like he's throwing darts out there. He's just aiming the ball and not stroking it when he does when he normally shoots well.
Davis very effective in the earlier series against the Cavaliers. Aaron Scott off the mark. And a loose ball foul. It's called on Charles Smith. That is his 4th foul. So the Knicks with their 3rd team foul. Indiana has 2. Timeout is taken. It's the Pacers 81, the Knicks 78.
Great NBA playoff action continues next Saturday, Sunday, and Monday on NBC.
Toyota Summer Collection 95 is here, and your Toyota dealer has super deals on supermodels like the beautifully styled Tercel with dual airbags and a low starting price around $10,900. Plus, Tercel has factory-to-dealer incentives. It's a Toyota sales celebration, and a Corolla low $189 a month lease makes this the best time to get this benchmark of quality. Plus, there are factory-to-dealer incentives on Corolla. Supermodels, super deals at your Toyota dealer now.
The criminal in question is accomplice in crime, a woman in danger, a partner in training, a hero in black. The adventure begins. Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, Chris O'Donnell. Batman Forever. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 16th at a theater near you.
Today's cars and trucks are more advanced than ever, but there is a price. Their harder working engines can wreak havoc on the motor oil, breaking it down almost immediately. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your harder working engine could make things hard on you. Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. Buy a case of Castrol GTX or Syntec and get an officially licensed NBA ball.
Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. Awesome. One opened up.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today we go back a year ago. Knicks and Pacers, Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and Patrick Ewing with a stellar performance, 24 points, playoff career high, 22 rebounds, leading the Knicks to a 94-90 victory. The Knicks advancing to the finals for the first time since 1973. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
Charles Smith was a little confused here as to what he did on the play. He must have a very short memory because it is obvious exactly what he did, trying to reach on and grab to Dale Davis as the Knicks picked up their third team foul.
And for Smith, number 4. Pacers with the ball. They lead by 3. We are early in the 4th. 2:20 gone by. McKee forced it. Off the save, it is deflected out. Last touch by the Pacers.
A heads-up play by Haywood Workman, who was in trouble trying to bang it off the Knicks player, but Dale Davis stuck his hand in there. Anthony Mason will play a little point forward now.
Handles the ball very well for a big man. Workman all over Starks. Shot clock at 7. Smith, and a foul called against the Pacers. From behind, Dale Davis. Call for number 4. Let's check in with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Marv, during that last time out, Larry Brown gathered his whole team together. He said, quit playing like you're worried that you're going to lose. We've got the lead. Let's not do things we don't normally do. If we lose, we lose. Let's not play like we're worried about it. Marv?
Thanks, Jim. That's similar to what Larry was telling us last night. He felt the Pacers looked scared in game number 6 at Market Square. Although they came out very strong here today. Ewing, it is waved off. 3-second violation. So the Pacers get it back. Reggie Miller checking back in, replacing Byron Scott.
Well, the Pacers came out and started this game very loose, did not look scared at all, shot the ball extremely well, had a terrific beginning part of the third quarter. You have to give the Knicks defense a lot of credit. They are making them look scared right now because they're making it very hard to get shots. And with Rick Smith on the bench, it's hard for the Pacers to find some offense. But here comes Mr. Reggie Miller.
And back comes Starks. Ewing. Yes. The Knicks offense now working in very deliberate fashion. And Ewing cuts it to a 1-point Indiana lead. 24 points for Patrick Ewing. Pacers have missed their last 7 shots. Antonio Davis. Workman for 3. Well, the Knicks do not mind seeing Haywood Workman taking those kind of shots. Indiana led by as many as 15. It's down to 1. Ewing. Way off. Got a piece of the backboard. Again, Workman open. This time with a foul. Indiana 83 and the Knicks 80.
Mistake that time by the Knicks defense. They would much rather see Workman take that shot. Instead, they rush at him and open up the driving lane.
7.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. Charles Smith getting down low. And he drew the foul. Charles Smith with a post-up move. And the foul on Dale Davis, so that's 5 on Davis. Smith's sitting down with 5. Ewing back on the floor playing with 4. Sam Mitchell now checks back in. And he'll replace Dale Davis.
Both teams jockeying with their lineups right now, trying to make sure that everybody gets a little bit of a breather before the final stretch run. John Starks going out that time, stalking off as he did not want to come out of the game. A little smile on the face of Derek Harper, knowing what kind of competitor John Starks is.
Well, Harper and Davis now for guards. Davis for 3. Yes. Pacers are tied at 83. That's the first field goal for Hubert Davis. 5 minutes in, fourth quarter. Antonio Davis. Ewing with the rebound. And a foul is called. Took a shot, and the Pacers are now over the foul limit. Sam Mitchell called for his third. This crowd is pumped, as are the Knicks, who have come back from a 15-point deficit.
It's as far as Michelin science has ever gone. Our biggest breakthrough since we invented the radial. Technology that brings us to a new level of performance, in good weather and bad, in the rain, in the snow. Technology so advanced, it even saves gas. The new energy tires with Radial XSE technology from Michelin. It's science that goes beyond magic.
The bar has been raised again. Introducing the Toyota Tacoma Extra Cab. Only Tacoma combines Toyota toughness with room, refinement, and a driver's side airbag. Only Tacoma tows 5,000 pounds standard. And only Tacoma provides you the option of a 190 horsepower V6 that's so powerful, it out-accelerates the leading competition's best. Toyota Tacoma, the arrival of the fittest.
Hey, Jason Kidd got co-rookie of the year.
Jason Kidd won co-rookie of the year.
Now, Jason deserves a party.
Jordan's got the biggest house.
Did you get Jason a gift? I don't know what to buy him.
You think you'd like candles? How about a picture frame? Potpourri? Jump shot?
I think a nice casserole would be fine.
Oh, that's what I was gonna bring.
Hey, Reggie, you drive. I got room for you and you and you. Not you.
Don't feel bad, Dennis. You gotta be a rookie to win.
And we're back in Manhattan with an update on the draft lottery held earlier today. The Golden State Warriors, who had such a difficult season, finally got a good break, claiming the #1 pick in next month's draft. The Warriors had only the 5th best chance, less than 10% of getting the top pick, but they beat the odds. The Clippers will select 2nd, and the 76ers 3rd, and there's the rest of the order on through Sacramento, which selects 13th. Knicks and Pacers tied now at 83 with just under 7 minutes left. Let's go back to the Garden and rejoin Marv Albert.
Thank you, Bob. A 24-9 run for the Knicks since that Indiana 15-point lead.
I mentioned earlier that Hubert Davis appeared to be aiming his shot. This time he didn't think about anything, loaded up and stroked it right through. And the Pacers have shot themselves in the foot so far by getting into the penalty now at the 6:53 mark. Another careless foul, that time by Sam Mitchell, as John Stark starting to feel it like the rest of the crowd here at Madison Square Garden.
And that foul put the Pacers over the limit, so Ewing 4 of 7 at the line. Game tied at 83. First time that the Knicks have led since the early moments. They were up 10-8. Indiana's had the lead right throughout. 6:53 to go in the fourth quarter. The Knicks 84 and the Pacers 83. Mark Jackson back on the floor. Jackson and Miller at the guard. Mitchell, McKee, Antonio Davis up front. Rick Smith sitting down after picking up number 5. Jackson with 7 on the shot clock. McKee for 3. Derek McKee from downtown. So the Indiana Pacers now lead 86-84.
That brought a smile to his face. He's been hearing it all day long from Larry Brown. Take the ball in the basket, but he has been getting shut down there. All he has is the jump shot.
Well, the Knicks get another opportunity. Eric McKee with 14 points. Ewing now played by Antonio Davis. Mason posting up. And the return pass deflected out by Miller.
Such a good team that time on Mason. He had Derek Harper open on the diagonal pass on the other side of the floor, but the double team was strong and hard. He couldn't find it to him. He's trying to get rid of the ball.
7 on the shot clock. Harper. Out! Harper went to the fadeaway. And it's rebounded by Mitchell, who was fouled. Non-shooting foul, it's number 4 on the Knicks. Anthony Mason called for his 3rd.
Larry Brown just went into his pocket to look at some notes as to what he wanted to call in this situation. He is trying to buy as much time as possible, stay close in this game with Rick Smits on the bench with 5 personal fouls.
Now Charles Smith sitting down. Charles Oakley is back. Pacers with the ball. They lead by 2. Got the step. Antonio Davis to the floor, and he's tied up. He had a notion to call for time, but he was tied up, and now here is Rick Smits returning. Rick Smits has played only 21 minutes because of the foul trouble. Rick Smits in Game 5 of the fourth quarter, 0 for 2 in Game 6, 2 for 2. 4 points and not getting the shot opportunity.
And a lot of that was being down by 16 in Game 6. They had to go to other options, and that was Reggie Miller trying to get them back into the ballgame from 3.
Indiana calling for time, 5:35 remaining in the fourth.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
So, I suppose you'll be having bench meet up in this room for the names next.
Oh, this little fella, I won't have to call the cream me aunt. Could have another speakerphone. Can I play CDs? Print. And that's without going within a punch or the hole in the wall.
Miss Machinchi must have been behind the door and that.
And with the video capture capability to make it capture. It's not the right picture. Ask myself and sat there and I can point you away.
This year, thousands of people will invest in the promise of new technology, the promise of an integrated safety system to help guard against the unexpected. A sound chamber capable of lowering noise levels by 30 decibels, plus a built-in operation censoring system to improve performance. The 1995 Toyota Corolla, recognized for over 25 years of progress as the benchmark of quality and the place where promises are kept.
What a year in tennis. The season's first Grand Slam, the Australian Open, was a thriller as Andre Agassi came from behind to knock off top-ranked Pete Sampras. Now, Agassi's ranked #1 in the world as this captivating rivalry continues at the French Open, presented by Perrier. Coverage begins June 3rd on NBC.
Indiana with a 2-point lead, 5:35 remaining in the fourth. The winner advances to face Orlando in the Eastern Conference Final. That will get started on Tuesday. The Western Conference Final opening up tomorrow night. Houston playing at San Antonio. That game will be seen on TNT starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Indiana with 3 timeouts remaining. New York with 2. Neither team has a 20. And there are no fouls to give off the tie-up. Charles Oakley and Antonio Davis on the jump. And controlled by the Pacers. Jackson and Miller in the backcourt. Smits has returned up front with Antonio Davis and McKee. Smits played by Ewing. Very well by Ewing.
A little bit of a soft double team by Mason, confused Smits, and then Patrick Ewing challenging that poor shot by Rick Smits.
The Knicks with the ball, trailing by 2. McKee fronting Mason. Mason was trying to get position on the other side. Ewing does. Yes. And the game is tied at 86.
It's amazing when the Knicks start one side and then post Ewing on the weak side. He is so much more difficult to double team, and then the quick little runner to get by to Antonio Davis.
27 for Ewing, who has come up with another big ball game. Game tied at 86. Miller slicing his his way through. Finding Smits. Rick Smits with 14 points. And he's given Indiana an 88-86 lead.
That's what Reggie was talking about. He doesn't necessarily have to take a lot of shots. He has done that today and scored, that he can make plays for other people.
Here's the double team on Ewing. And a foul is called on Miller. Miller trying to help out.
Well, this play started on the left side and then brought around to the right side, and some confusion on the Pacer defense there about coming and double teaming. Smits belatedly came, but nowhere near enough time. And now Miller slicing through and splitting that little double team, drawing the defense to him and creating the opening for Rick Smits.
Oakley 6 of 8 at the line. And the Knicks 18 for 25 at the free throw line. In the 3 Knick wins, they have shot very well in the fourth quarter. In the 3 Knick losses, 55%. And they're 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter here today.
And Charles Oakley shooting 86% in the series.
Indiana leads by 1. We're approaching 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Miller worked off the screen. McKee. Davis. Antonio Davis. Indiana leads 90-87. That's the first field goal for Antonio Davis.
That was set up on the drive by Derek McKee. And Larry Brown is right. If the Pacers continue to take the ball to the basket, they will get good percentage shots.
Smits guarding Oakley. Ewing off balance. And back comes Jackson. He has Davis with him. Here's Antonio Davis, and he is, let's see, Ed Rush calling a flagrant foul on the Knicks. Antonio Davis took a hard shot from Derek Harper.
Well, Derek Harper wanted to make sure there that Antonio Davis did not get that ball up above his shoulders where he could get a possible three-point play. A hard playoff foul, and ruled by the officials way too hard, and it had a lot to do with the way Antonio Davis fell to the floor. All Derek Harper wanted to do there was make sure Davis didn't make a layup.
Antonio Davis, as we mentioned earlier, has shot well at the line in the playoffs, although during the regular season has had his difficulties at the foul line. Here's another look at it from the other side.
And once again, I'm sure Derek Harper did not intentionally try to hurt Antonio Davis, but that is an accurate call. The way these have been called during the playoffs and really during the regular season, anything that hard where a player takes a hard crack to the floor and really they feel no play is made on the ball, it will be called flagrant.
Second flagrant foul of the series on Harper. 5-point Pacer lead, and now they have possession. Smits, Rick Smits, making it a 4-point play for the Pacers. They open up a 94-87 lead, so Indiana able to respond very well to this Knick rally. Starks rejected by Smits. Mason kept it alive. Ewing, yes. Indiana 94, New York 89 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 29 for Ewing. The rebound. Critical possession here for the Knicks, trailing by 5 with 2:25 to go in the fourth. Ewing with a drop step, not able to get the roll. Mason on the rebound. And the foul is called. Antonio Davis with his fourth.
Patrick Ewing's in a groove right now where he is trying to do everything by himself. Taking the baseline jumpers, forcing the shot there as Antonio Davis made sure that Anthony Mason did not get up and hit a pot basketball three-point play, but the Pacers in the penalty. When the Knicks had success late in the third quarter, it was when Patrick Ewing would take the double team along the edge of the lane, and that would get open shots or driving opportunities for people on the perimeter. Right now, Patrick's trying to do too much by himself, and all in all, he's had a brilliant game, and I can understand why he's trying to do it, but he's got to include his teammates.
Anthony Mason, a major factor in the Knicks victories the last two games, has also had success at the free throw line the last couple of games. 7 of 9, game 6 on Friday. It's 1 of 2 here, and Indiana's lead is 4. 2:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. And an official timeout called by Steve Javian again, indicating a wet spot on the floor, same area. Spike Lee incensed about the official timeout.
Maybe he feels the official is blaming him. It is right in front of him.
Shot clock at 12. Smith's rejected by Oakley. Whoa! Charles Oakley, not known for his shot blocking, able to slap one of the crowd.
Only 3 in this series, and Charles looked like he was going for ball there. At first, I thought he may be just trying to hack Smith hard to make him earn it from the line, but he looked like he had a good eye on the ball.
8th block of the game on the Knicks. Ewing with 4. Shot clock at 9 with 2:01 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And the Knicks defense on these situations has been very stingy. They make it a tough inbounds pass on underneath out-of-bounds play.
McKee having difficulty and has to use a timeout. He could not find anyone. So as you said, Matt, Indiana with trouble getting the ball in. Timeout taken. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Bob Sagal won $200,000 playing the Monopoly game at McDonald's, while Joe Harrington Jr. won $25,000.
Hold it! So many people have been playing and winning the Monopoly game that many McDonald's are out of game pieces. But you can still be a winner. Because you made the Monopoly game such a big success, we're giving you a supersized thanks. Now, through Thursday, May 25th, buy an extra value meal and we'll supersize it free. That's right, free.
Have you had your break today?
Here at our Goodyear tire plant in Union City, Tennessee, we're working extra hard to make enough tires for our big sale. All Goodyear Eagles, all Goodyear Wranglers, all on sale, all across America, from all of us in Union City.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer's the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
With all that you're juggling these days, insurance is one thing you may have let slide. Good news. Your Allstate agent can lend a hand with a free Allstate Protection Review. You'll see how your protection stacks up with your current needs. Get rid of gaps or overlaps. And max out your discounts. Ask your Allstate agent to help you get your insurance act together. You're in good hands with Allstate.
During my childhood, my father would set a lot of dreams and goals for me. During practice, he'd say, just imagine this putt or this shot is to win the U.S. Open. Even though it was just pretend, it was those special mind games with my dad that would pay off for me in the future.
The United States Open, coming to NBC June 15th.
Back at Madison Square Garden, you know, you look back, Matt, this is a series with so many memorable moments. Reggie Miller's heroics game 1, 8 points in the final seconds. His actions and words setting the tone for the series. Game 3, the overtime in Indiana. The Knicks squandering the lead. The Pacers go up 2-1, and then Game 5 on the brink of elimination. Patrick Ewing saving the Knicks season with that shot. So the series tied at 3, leading us to today's Game 7. The big play to this point, the flagrant foul committed by Derek Hoffer on Antonio Davis. It turned out to be a 4-point swing. Davis goes to the line, hits the 2 free throws, and then Rick Smith follows up on the possession with a jump shot, and it is now 94-90 Indiana. Coincidentally, Game 7 last year won by the Knicks by that very score, 94-90. Jackson gets it, Smith, and Anthony Mason called for his fourth, and Rick Smits will go to the line for the first time.
Well, the Pacers had just 9 seconds left on the shot clock when the underneath out-of-bounds play started, as Rick Smits banging into Patrick Ewing, trying to get that 6th foul, and the pass back as Anthony Mason felt he got all ball. We saw Oakley get all ball on the play before. Nevertheless, Rick Smits to the line.
He is a 75% free throw shooter. Indiana by 5, a minute and 54 remaining in the fourth quarter. "17 points for Smits. Hopper with the rebound. Down to a minute 50 to go. Hopper played by Jackson. Smits jumping out. Ewing in the post. Played by Antonio Davis. Rebound Mason off the fake. Pacers 95. The Knicks 92. Down to a minute and a half remaining, fourth quarter.
It looked like Ewing was waiting for a double team. It never came, so it's really a big mistake by the Pacers letting Mason get in there for the offensive board.
Smits. Rick Smits with a clutch shot. Pacers lead 97-92, and the Knicks call for time with a minute 18 remaining in the fourth.
It will open your eyes and turn heads. It's the all-new Toyota Tercel. It's about getting more power, more miles per gallon, and more style. It's about choice, 2 doors or 4 doors. These are the times. This is the car, the all-new Tercel from Toyota.
What do you get when you cross a high-quality conventional motor oil with an advanced formula synthetic? A revolutionary oil that protects better than regular oils, yet costs 40% less than full synthetics. DuraBlend from Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline.
The Krylon Touch
Means making the old look new.
The Krylon Touch.
And the boring becomes beautiful. Show your true colors.
Don't just paint, give it the Krylon Touch.
Only with Krylon.
Here you go.
Thanks.
I travel a lot, but you don't have to play in the NBA to visit new places and meet new people. All you have to do is pick up a book, because when you know how to read, adventures come to you.
Today's story is Little Shaq Horner.
So no matter who you are or what you plan to do, learn how to read. It opens up a whole new world.
Shaq's gonna beat them.
It's a good thing he doesn't play basketball.
Wednesday, Houdini astonished the world with death-defying magic. Now, today's best magicians perform his most dangerous illusions. A woman chained faces death. A man shackled in a water-filled tank. A daredevil nailed in a coffin with explosives. A new death-defying special, unlocking Houdini's secrets, NBC Wednesday, 8/7 Central.
Well, this series in the 7th and final game, down to a minute 18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Pacers have 2 timeouts left. The Knicks with 1 remaining. The season is on the line for the New York Knicks, who are trailing by 5 points. Yesterday, the Houston Rockets able to come back from a 3-1 deficit. The Knicks trying to come back from a 3-1 deficit in this series. And trying to come back from a 5-point disadvantage. They've trailed by as many as 15. Mason is fouled. So Mason will go to the line with a minute 1 to go in the fourth. Foul committed by Antonio Davis. That his 5th.
Pat Riley came with his 3-guard lineup, putting Hubert Davis in for Oakley, who will now come back in for Hubert for defensive purposes. Not necessarily that the Knicks wanted to just take a wild 3-pointer there. They want to get some penetration. If they get an open man behind the line, they'll look for that. But an aggressive play by Anthony Mason, but he misses.
And the Knicks, 3 of 7 from the line in the fourth quarter. Mason is 1 for 3 at the line. Bad free throw shooting in the fourth, killing the Knicks in this series. As Mason misses on both, and Jackson able to get to the loose ball. So the Pacers in possession, up by 5. Indiana trying to become the first road team to win a Game 7 since May of '82. That is prior to yesterday. Houston was able to do it against Phoenix. Miller rebounded by Harper. Mason. And let's see what the call is here. Last touch by the Pacers.
Well, Derek Harper gave that ball to Anthony Mason a hair too soon, a little bit too far. Not that Mason can't put the ball on the floor, but I think he felt he was going to get fouled here. He is effective with his right hand, but he just squeezed that one out.
Starks. Yes, that's a 3 for John Starks. It's down to a 2-point lead. 30 seconds remaining. Pacers 97. The Knicks 95. John Starks with a clutch three-pointer. Down to 20 seconds. 7-second differential between the game clock and the 24. Shot clock is at 5. Mark Jackson for Rick Smits. Shot clock at 1. Jackson. And it's Nick Ball. They call for time with 5 seconds remaining. It will be Nick Ball down by 2, 5 seconds to go. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
I dream of growing up and marrying Elizabeth Taylor.
She set the standard for sensation.
Don't ever pull that Hollywood star crap with me again. Am I really so bad?
Bad, no. Spoiled, maybe. The movie that took 6 decades, 4 continents, and 8 husbands to tell.
I want it understood. I'm more than a pretty face.
The Elizabeth Taylor story, NBC tonight.
At Country Farm Lawn and Recreation, we take pride in all we do. If you have a hard-to-find part, we'll find it. If it's quality service you want, we've got it. Need selection? No problem. Looking for a great deal? You've come to the right place. At Country Farm Lawn and Recreation, we've got a complete line of Simplicity lawn mowers. Simplicity lawn mowers have long been known for quality performance and durability. Plus, we have a great selection of chipper shredders. All the finest are at Country Farm Lawn and Recreation, Pandora.
As you cruise along in your 32-valve V8 Mercedes-E, you look out over this endless ribbon of asphalt, and one word comes to mind. Yeehaw!
Hi, I'm Roger Overby, Industrial Farm Tank Vice President for 25 years. Our company has created customized polyethylene products for our many customers.
The Industrial Farm Tank, located near Indian Lake, develops molds and with raw materials creates a variety of finished polyethylene products. There's all kinds of tanks for the farm, products you can buy direct for your home, and customized products in all shapes and sizes for companies throughout the area. You can buy direct from the factory. Call Industrial Farm Tank at 513-843-2972.
WIO Lima.
Indiana with a 2-point lead. It's Nick Ball, 5 seconds to go in regulation. Rick Smits has had the hot hand here in the fourth quarter with 7 points. Reggie Miller has not scored in the fourth quarter, although he's had a strong game. The Knicks just used their final timeout. Indiana with 2 left, so the Knicks must inbound the ball.
And in Game 5, this is when Patrick Ewing said, "Give me the ball." And if you remember, Rick Smith was not in to guard him that time, and he's not in right now. Antonio Davis will be watching Patrick Ewing.
Des Kersey in a conversation with Derek Harper, who will throw in. Giving him the room right here, and now gets the delay of game call. Larry Brown able to check over the Nicolaiman.
It looks like the same kind of setup. They'll look for John Starks running out to the top.
The Starks cuts to the corner. The inbounds to Ewing. Down to 3, down to 2. Ewing, not over the hit, and it's all over. The Indiana Pacers Pacers have defeated the New York Knicks 97-95 to take the series in 7, and they advance to the Eastern Conference Final to face the Orlando Magic. Patrick Ewing had the shot, but it went in and out. And now many questions concerning the New York Knicks. And this man, Pat Riley, in his 4th season as head coach, is this the end of the era? Certainly Pat Riley's future continues to be a question as the Knicks are beaten by the Pacers as we take another look at the inbounds pass.
Oh, no problem getting the ball to Patrick Ewing, who just flashed, and he spins out of the double team. It looked like with a little extension here, he could have taken the thing right to the rim, but he just tried to avoid the defense and flip it up, and it falls out as the Knicks see their season go down the tubes, and Larry Brown running around looking for somebody to graduate. Went out, came out, grabbed the ball. He didn't know what he wanted to do with it. He just grabbed it, held it, threw it back to the security guard.
So Larry Brown and the Pacers head to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 2nd straight season. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad with Larry.
All right, thanks, Marv. Larry, obviously, that's not the way you wanted to end the game, but you'll take it because you won it.
Yeah, I was a little concerned because we switched, and we weren't supposed to switch unless the ball was already thrown in. And fortunately, you know, he had to go to his left, and he missed it, and Dale Davis was there. But I'm proud of our guys, Ahmad. Every time we got the lead, we got in terrible foul trouble. You know, we had to play through that, and when they got the lead, I think our team responded well. I think Derek hit a big shot. We were scared to death, but we got it done, and we're going to Orlando, and I got to see you again.
That's right. In terms of confidence, winning, getting by the Knicks finally, it's got to do a lot for your team.
Oh, yeah, they're a great team. Pat Riley's the best. And the way their team plays, I think every team could learn a lot. They play so hard, and they're so unselfish. They might bicker and moan, but when they get on the court, they do what he says, and they do it the right way.
All right, congratulations, Larry, and good luck to you. Let's go over to Jim Gray, who's with Reggie Miller.
Congratulations, Reggie. You kissed the floor after the game. Can you begin to describe the emotion of finally getting over this hump and beating the Knicks?
First of all, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ for this victory. Without him, none of this would have been possible. And I'd also like to thank my parents and all the fans back in Indiana for calling me up after Game 6 and giving us the support that we could come in here and win this game. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew the obstacle that faced us, but one thing that was on our side, it was going to be tough for the New York Knicks to beat us 3 times in a row. And we knew that coming into this game. It was just a brilliant game on both parts. Both teams didn't want to die. We made a lot of dumb things down the stretch when we were up 15 with 4 or 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but you got to give the Knicks a lot of credit. They're a class act. I was wrong for saying the choke thing in Game 1. I was just trying to mentally get in their head, and they responded well. I think this is what this series is all about. 2 teams going head-to-head with one another.
Spike Lee came over. Patrick Ewing came over. What did those guys say to you?
Just congratulations. Last year when we lost in Game 7 here, I was the first one to go over to them and congratulate them and talk to all the guys, and vice versa, they did the same. It's a class act New York Knicks organization.
Reggie, your coach said you guys were scared to death, both in Game 6, and he just told Ahmad this team was scared to death. Were you scared? Was there a fear factor?
No. I think in Game 6 we were playing not to win. I think, you know, the pressure was on us in our home court, and we didn't come out and we didn't respond to their defensive effort. But tonight, we knew all the pressure was going to be on them. So we just wanted to come in and play loosey-goosey and let it come down to a situation like this. But I'm getting too old with all this late minute stuff. Goodness gracious.
How many times did Larry Brown tell you guys today, not only in the pregame, during the game, quit playing to lose? Don't worry about it. If we lose, we lose.
About a dozen. But, you know, we were tentative with 34 seconds, you know, left in the game. All we needed was 1 score when we were up by 5. But like I said, the New York Knicks, they never gave up. So this is great.
It's only the conference semifinals. What about Orlando now?
It's going to be tough. They've been resting 4 or 5 days, and you know, this is an emotional win for us, but I think that's what VCRs are all about. We're going to go home, study this, and try to get ready for it.